Do, 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 do. Where's my music? That's my system stuff. Do, 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 do. Ooh, here we are. Good day, everybody. I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on Summoner's War Optimizer for Windows 10. I have not used this. I've used the original one before, but I need to fumble through this. Yeah. So what do you want to optimize? Why would you use the optimizer for free rune removal versus trying to rune off the top of your head? Maybe you have a lot of runes. Maybe you have different units you want to prioritize and you want to see what kind of builds you can get. So when I do free rune removal, what I do is I decide on what my priorities are, and then I decide which units I want on those teams, and then I look at builds for them. So example is I want to always keep my arena teams pretty high up there, right? So my AD is the team that I'm going to look at first. My AD is currently Praha, Ritesh, Kumar, and Beta, so I'll look at their runes first. Then I'll focus on my AO, which is Daphnis, Tiana, Galleon, and then Tishar, Julie, and Shige, the Dark Samurai. And then after that, I'll think about my dungeon teams. Necro, Giants, Dragons. Because free rune removal is here every month, what I do is I pick my #1 dungeon that I want to run, and then I rune the units for that team as efficiently as possible. Hi Spongy, how's it going? I'm actually going to leave my dungeon teams the same unless I want to pull runes from my Giants team, and then I'm gonna try to focus better runes on my raid team. Another exception that you can make is TOA. Once you have runes, once you can do clears on hard on both rotations, you probably don't want to touch the runes unless they're going to be improvements. Yes, it's a recordy thing until I'm done. It's going to be maybe quickish. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. So let's look at Praha. I have 2 Prahas, but I'm going to pick the level 41. There's generally 2 ways you want to build Praha. So Despair Nemesis or Will Nemesis Nemesis. My Praha is currently Will Nemesis Nemesis, Speed HP. So I'm just going to run through the optimizer quickly. I'm going to try a Despair Nemesis set, and then I'm going to compare the stats that I can get. Because I'm runing these as my topmost teams, I'm actually going to uncheck use only runes from inventory. This will take runes from all of my units, and I want at least 33k HP, 220 speed, 35 res, and let's say 20 accuracy. If I can get over 1000 defense, I'll consider that a bonus as well. So I leave it on max permutations because this is actually using my computer's processor. If you want to cap it and stop the app from crashing, you can put a number in here, maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million, and then this is the thread count for the number of cores you're going to be running for optimization. I'm also going to be setting some focuses. I'll do speed, HP, and I'll do a third one for defense. Search depth, I'll just leave blank. Let's press optimize. This is really cool. I hope so. I want this to be a semi-informative video. So what you see is the first row is Praha's current build. So 33,000 HP, 1300 defense, 220 speed, and then some other stats, right? So the build is the same. Effective HP is kind of a gauge of how much HP your unit has. EHPD is when their defense broken, so if the unit's defense broken, they they have to take a certain amount of damage in order to die. So if I look at the two builds that I actually got from the list, if I hover over them, I see what goes higher and I see what goes lower. Do I care about extra damage stats? Not really. If I go down here, I get more crit rate, I get 10% more, but because I want my Praha to interrupt devolutions, to interrupt wombo combos, I'll leave her stats as is. What I'll also do is I'll change the sets that I'm using. So I'll make it Will Nemesis Nemesis with the same parameters, press optimize, and then we're gonna see what we can get with the same set that she has already. So the top build is actually the same, and then the bottom set is a little bit more HP, but I don't want to lose the speed. I get a little bit more accuracy, which might help me, but I'll just keep the original. So if I click on the build, it actually takes me to a screen. And this shows the new runes. This is actually the same, so it doesn't really matter. Then it compares the old and the new stats. What I'm interested here is locking the runes, so when I go to optimize my next monster, I don't take from the runes that I've already equipped on my unit. So if I go back to the builds, let's rune Kumar next. So I'll clear this, I'll keep this. What I want to focus on Kumar is HP, crit damage, HP as my primary build. And I have him on Violent Broken right now, and I just know this because of past optimizations. The no broken sets, I'll show you in a second what it's going to do, but I'm going to focus speed, HP, crit rate, and then I want at least 42,000 HP. Hey Burke, what's up man? How's it going? I'm optimizing. I want 70% crit rate. Defense is not as important to me. Speed is. Let's say I want at least 150 speed on Kumar. Of course, I'm going to use all of my runes, give him the best runes that I can because he's one of my top priorities. Optimize. So this is actually my first time seriously using this optimizer. I usually use the old one that I actually host on my MacBook, but this is the one that's widely available to everybody, so I'm doing a demo of it just because I think it'll benefit more people without being too technical. So the top build is the original build again, and then I have a few other builds that are a little bit different. This one's a little bit less speed, a bit more HP, which is a possible choice. This one's even more HP, but is it worth losing 13 speed? You see that red minus 13 over there? I kind of like my units a little bit faster, so I'm gonna ignore that build. So this is what I go through every rune removal with Kumar. Until I get better runes, I will just keep his build the same. What the no broken sets checkbox does is, instead of it just choosing violent and a broken set usually, this is only gonna show me builds that have full sets. So if I optimize with these parameters that I want, I get nothing. So I'm gonna move on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab that build, lock the runes, and then carry on. Yeah, it's a learning start to the stream. So this is the build that I'm gonna use. It's the same one. Lock runes, and go back to looking more units. Next one is Ritesh. I have two, because I got dupes from a Transcendent Scroll. My Ritesh is built a bit differently, so what if his original build is actually speed HP, 40k HP, some defense. I actually go for a little bit higher speed. Let's go for 185. 35 res, 20 act, 70 crit. I'll go for 65. Same focus, just because I'm using two bruisers. Optimize. Burke doesn't need notes actually. He's already G3. He's on top of the game already, but different ways to get the same result, right? Hey Kennedy, You saw my slow Tiana Will Rune Arena combo with Galleon. Does it work in guild battles? Yes. I use Galleon lead for speed, 24%. Then I'll use Tiana, and then I usually use Julie or Tashar. I don't use Daphnis because his crit rate's a little bit low, and I don't want to rely on that. So I'll either look for something that's Tasharable or Julieable. Hi, Icy. Uh-oh. Did you get Sierra? You can't hear anything. Please unmute. Please. So, oh right, I forgot that I rune Ritesh on Will, so I'll check that set as well, optimize again, and it doesn't see any sets. This is not a cause for worry. This is the original build, so my Ritesh is only 39k HP. What if I drop that to 38k? Defense is okay, speed is okay, crit rate's okay. Maybe I don't need as much accuracy. Let's optimize that again. You pulled Eludia Light Chicken? Oh, that's okay. That's better than Sierra. Congrats. Alright, any new builds? I have a little bit faster, a little bit more defense. Crit rate is okay. Resistance and accuracy is okay. How much do I lose? I lose a bit. I lose a bit of HP. But I gain some defense. So that makes his effective HP a lot higher, right? Would that be tanky enough for my arena defense? Let's just keep looking at other builds. I do like the extra speed on that build. Actually, this one's a lot more defense. What does this have? So a little bit less HP. This is 206 more defense, 4 more speed, and the damage stats are okay. You know what? I'm gonna pick this set. This is where I'm pulling the runes from. So I'm grabbing a rune from Konamiya, I'm grabbing a Daphnis rune, getting a rune from Beta. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'll lock these, and I forgot to equip actually. I'm kind of stupid. That was my bad. So let's go here, equip. Go back to Praha. It's a little slow, buddy. And then equip again. Let's go back. Can I go back now for reals? Alright, last up is Beta. Beta, I'm running Violent Will, just because I want her to be able to survive any cooldown resets if someone isn't using, say, Tiana or Water Fairy King. So then she can use her third skill, which is immunity and crit shield. So Violent Will, HP is going to be a lot lower. I want her to survive illusions, so let's give her 32k HP. See if I can get her with over 200 speed with a bit of defense subs. Don't need to care about crit. I do care about res, maybe 10 accuracy. Yeah? Optimize. So Summer's War is a numbers game, right? What's really good about the optimizer is that as long as you're equipping and locking runes and working in an order that you're setting for yourself, in my opinion, it should be priority. You're always going to give your best runes to the units that mean the most to you. If you're not going to be caring about PvP for a while and you're trying to get maybe your Dragon's B10 team done, then pick your first 5 units as your Veramos, your Bella, and then if you're using Megan, your Megan, Sigmaris, and if you have a Verd, do Verd. If you have a Reviver because you're doing a tower comp, do those 5 units and then work on your next priority. Maybe because you have a low pool of 6 stars, that same Dragons team is going to be your TOA team, but at least you're going to be going into the next month confident that they have your best runes when you change their runes up, right? So if I look at the builds, remember that I took one of Beta's runes already, so her stats are a little bit low in comparison. 231 speed is really good, right? 231 speed, 36k HP is honestly a ton. And then I get resistance and accuracy because their first skill strips buffs, right? I'm gonna click this one. Amlo, you have a question about that optimizer? Go for it, man. What is it? I can try to answer it in line if you hurry. 20-second Twitch delay. Okay, what did I do wrong? It's looking at Kumar runes. So I obviously messed up. Let's go back to builds. Use locked runes? No. Did I equip and lock? I did. Why? So I'm not using locked runes. I'm only using runes from inventory. So why would you do this to me? Let's try it again. No, I think this is the same set. Yeah. Interesting. Is there a way to pick a monster and rune set and it will pick out the 4 best runes from that set? There's a way to pick a monster and a rune set, yes. What it will not do is pick the 4 best runes, because best runes are subjective in my opinion. What it does is it picks out the best combination of runes to pick the stats that you specify. So if you use the filter, you pick the filter, you pick whatever other stats you want. You change your focus because you want to worry about certain stats. I don't know why this is doing this, by the way. Let's try this. Once you get your list of builds, don't worry about like what rune goes where or which rune it is or what the individual rune stats are. When you're thinking about a game like Summoner's War and maximizing your potential in the game, worrying about the individual stats on a rune is like worrying about one monster who you treat as your rockstar unit and thinking that they can solo the entire game. The truth is they cannot, and you need to worry about the bigger picture, so total stats. You need to worry about what kind of advantages you can provide yourself by focusing on certain stats. So I can have an 1138 defense beta with almost 33k HP with 208 speed, or slightly lower stats but a couple extra speed. That's a decision you have to make for yourself and for your team, but factors that can actually affect what you're choosing is things like how you want to speed tune your units, how you want your turn order to be, which is also speed determined. You want to worry about possible RNG factors, like do you think you're going to get a lot of buff strips with 10 accuracy? You're probably going to get a lot more with 20%, but is it worth losing to speed? HP is okay, or maybe you lose 200 defense. That's something that you got to worry about, right? Yeah, Zaras is your rockstar, and he could be, right? Maybe you only have the runes to make one super good unit, but you got to make sure that you're picking the right unit to help you clear the content that you want to get through, right? So let's say you're only 6 stars of Eremos. The other units you have are 5 stars. Are you going to give your fastest set to your Shannon, maybe? If your entire Giants B10 team dies and your Shannon's the only one left alive, do you think she can solo the boss? Probably not. But if you give your tankiest and speediest runes to your Veramos, he might be able to get enough turns and dot the boss to death, right? And then as you flesh out your box and 6-star other units, you can start thinking about giving all the 6 stars the best runes, because 6-starring any unit makes it more tanky, gives it more survivability with higher base stats. If you 6-star a DPS unit, when they have higher base attack, then all of your attack percentage stats, they mean more because you're multiplying by a larger base number, right? So that's something to consider, Emlo. Go for the entire build. Don't worry about like, I found this rune, it's got 20% crit rate, it has 30 flat attack, it has 4 speed, and like 24 flat defense. I want this rune somewhere. It could be a good rune, but the optimizer, because it goes through the different combinations of runes and stats, for the filters that you specify, it might be able to find you a better build without having to use that rune. So don't worry about this. Don't worry about like each rune individually. Worry about the bigger picture. And I say that not just for like building a unit. When you're building a unit, you're using a combination of runes, like a team of runes, to make that monster really good. But when you're building a team, you're building a team of monsters with a really good team of runes. I just realized that I wasn't autoing anything for any of this, and I feel really dumb. But that's okay. But that's what's going to get you more success. It's thinking about the bigger picture, the whole team. Don't zone in on like one thing. Don't be too focused on the really fine details. Like, if you farmed for a month and you've only gotten one 6-star legendary rune or something that rolled well, don't be down on that. Be excited, because maybe that rune is the difference between having a violent broken set and a, say, a violent will or a violent nemesis set, right? I don't really like any of these beta builds. But I'm going to take the higher defense one. The reason is a little bit extra defense might let her take an extra hit or something in order for her to get a revive off or her third skill. So I'll go with that. So AD is done. Cool. Let's look at AO. What's unique for me about my AO is that I'm not worried too much about which rune sets I'm using. I'm only focusing on will sets. I want at least a will set on everyone. That's my most important thing. I honestly could care less if I have like a despair set for now, because I know my despair runes aren't good. If I choose to use a 4 set, like a swift set or a rage set on a DPS, I might not be able to have the stats that I want for arena. So I'm gonna pick Daphnis. I want a will set for sure. I'm gonna clear my filters and my focus, and I want attack, I want speed subs, I want crit rate, I want defense. How much speed do I want? Let's say I want 160 speed in my entire AO. Because Daphnis has a 33% crit lead, 67 crit rate, 150, no, let's go 140 crit damage, maybe 2100 attack, right? That's 21,000. Optimize. About the optimizer, thoughts on Hathor and Tessarion in raids? Hathor, no. She doesn't do anything except, I think, attack break on her first skill. Her second skill is asleep. Her third skill is asleep. You can't sleep the boss. Forget about it. Tessarion's a good frontline tank. He can do some damage because his attack scales with the number of harmful effects on the boss. He's also a res lead. Tessarion's a good pick. So what do I have? I think I took some Daphnis runes, so that's why the initial build is not as strong as it was before. I know that because I know my stats. But I have a 167 speed Daphnis. He meets the minimum crit rate I want. He has okay crit damage. If I look at the damage column, highest DPS Daphnis is this one. You can actually sort by descending or ascending order for any stat by clicking on the header. So if I go for raw damage, 166 speed, that much attack, yeah, I could use that. We can try it. So these are where the runes come from. Equip, lock, next unit. So speed tuning and everything will be covered somewhere else. There might be tutorials around. There are probably tools that do that. Pretty sure the optimizer can help with that. I'm just not sure how to do it, so I apologize. Hey Big Spanberg, what's up, man? Third skill also decreases attack bar, and she has 41% res lead. No, still don't do it. You have better choices, honestly. So my Tiana's Will. I think she is Will Shield Nemesis. I do stack shield sets on my AO. I did give Tiana Nemesis. I'm gonna make her speed, crit rate, HP. Do this. Don't need that. Let's go HP, speed, and I'm gonna get rid of these stats. Is this okay? Let's say I want her to have 20k HP. Let's say I want her to have 180 speed. We'll just see what happens. Hey people, what's up, man? Bro Sith just got here. Which optimizer is this? This is the Summoner's War Windows 10 optimizer. You can get it from the Windows App Store. There's also a web version. I don't know the URL off the top of my head. It's probably swop dot something. Sorry. Google. So just catching up on shop a little bit. Should you buy this from Magic Shop? Blade slot 2 attack percent. With accuracy and crit rate sub 6-star. Do you have a 6-star attack percent rune? The possible good things about that rune is that if it rolls crit rate percent twice, you could get plus 12% crit rate. How much does it cost? How much extra money do you have? Do you not have a rune that provides that stats? If you don't, I would buy it. Personally, for my account, no. If it's good for your account, yes, do it. So what do I have for Tiana? So my original HP was 28k. Let's see if I can match that. Let's just re-optimize. You got a link for it? Let's allow you. There you go, man. Thanks, Kennedy. Alright, so this looks a bit better. I lose attack. Kind of okay. That's a decision you have to make on your own. My Tiana has high crit rate naturally, because what I do is I go through my first round. Second round, I have a Tiana AoE that scales with my opponent's speed. I have a Daphnis huge single target nuke. If I'm using Tishar, I can probably use his third skill again. If I have Julie, I have a huge second skill nuke. If it's Shige, they're probably dead, right? So pick the stats that make sense for you. Pick, equip, lock, and then repeat ad nauseum. So let's pretend, because this video could go on forever. Let's pretend that's done. What I really want to focus on is a raid team, because I actually have a lot of units that can use a lot more improvements on them, because it hasn't been a big focus for me, right? So my raid team is going to be Mei Wang, Triple Revenge. My scroll wheel is the suck. So revenge, 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 and you want to hit certain stats with a frontliner, right? So you're gonna want to focus on HP, you're gonna want defense, and you might want resistance, right? What are the minimum stats? Let's say 25,000 HP, 1500 defense. Let's give him high crit rate, see what we can do. Let's say 75, right? And then 40% resistance. Let's see if I can pull any builds. Triple Revenge, frontliner. And I do have some builds, right? So are these stats better than what I have? I missed the follow. Thanks, Ramen Noodle. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Sorry, I'm like, Optimizer's here, Twitch is here, so I can't really see them. And my headphones are over there because, you know, protect the hair. So I lose. Let's go to the effective HP column. He's still way tankier. He's still, yeah, he's definitely tankier the way he is. Do I want more damage? In this case, I don't think it's worth losing the tanky stats for 99 more effective damage. So I'm gonna skip. Let's say we have a Stella. And I want her to be, maybe a Swift Revenge? See if I can make her attack, crit damage attack, right? Say I want to go 70% crit. 18k HP for backline, 800 defense, 180. So with speed lead, she gets, is it 6 or 7 hits on her third skill? I forget. Do I want to care about these stats? Kind of. Res, I'll deprioritize that. See if I can build anything. I'm dressed up going out tonight. No, I didn't change into my pajamas. And I'm streaming in what I wore to work today. So, does this program work for Mac? This program specifically does not, but they do have a web version that you can use from anything with a web browser. So you can use it on Mac. I've used it on my Mac before. Do I have any stats? No. Because I don't, what can I lower? Actually, let's try to use this. Let's uncheck use only runes from inventory and see if my entire pool of runes can make her stats better. It found nothing. That's good. Does that mean that I give up on her? Maybe. Maybe I don't have the stats to build her, right? Let's try one more time. Heronic for legend? Give me a year? Maybe? We have to wait until everyone else quits and I'm the only one left in Summoner's War. It's the only way, right? No. Just keep at it. Even if it seems like I'm like high in the game, I'm always learning. I always keep a student mentality. There's always room for improvement. So keep that philosophy. All right, you know what? I can't make a Swift Revenge set with this. So what would you do? Let's try to break every set. Let's do this. By using completely random runes, I can probably achieve those stats. It's not going to be pretty, but when you're trying to look to get places in the game, maybe your Swift runes aren't as good as your Broken Guard Shield, maybe Broken Violent, maybe Endure sets, because maybe you've been spending a lot of time in Dragons like I have. It's possible. And as you can see, she's already kind of on broken sets anyways. The set column is completely empty. Do I want these stats? Oh yeah, I could totally do this. What does this have? Do I want to steal from Daphnis? No. Kumar? No. No. Okay. Remove it. We don't want it. What are the best sets for Molong? Violent Revenge. Guy's got his hair done up and he has a buttoned up polo. Not really the usual lounge around the house attire. Hell no. There's no like t-shirts and stuff. Spongy, how could you not notice? Anyways, yeah. So other than that, there isn't that much else I want to show on the optimizer unless you guys have any questions. Like, this will show you what your monsters in your box are. So I have a Lumi. Here's her stats. That's like on the monsters icon. These are gems and grindstones. Don't really care about that because if I actually want to look at grindstones, I'll just go into my box and do it myself. This is the Violent rune here is just your list of runes. And a little bit of trivia here. You can actually filter by rune efficiency just to see like what your best runes are, right? So I only have 2 runes over 100% efficiency. Rune efficiency is good for world boss, but it isn't really anything you want to focus on unless you have an excess of units and you have a lot of different runes and you want to try to get a higher world boss score. Not something you should really focus on as a early or mid game player, but if you're a bored later game player, you could consider it. He cut the hair to reduce the green glow. I didn't actually, I just changed my op settings. I made it a bit smarter. Yeah, no. Spongy Bay, got it. Based, sorry. Can't read. Anything else? No? If you want to see my Molong, actually, why don't I build my Molong? Here's Molong. These are his stats right now. He's okay. He's semi-okay. But maybe you have a toy unit that you really like. You want to try to build it. I personally will only build toys if I can get them max skilled. Otherwise, I don't find them as effective in what I want them to accomplish. But let's just do this just to show. Molong, Violent. Actually, we'll go Revenge, Violent, triple HP. Okay, this is fine. Oh my god. Hello UI. We see you. So I want triple HP. His third skill scales off of HP. His second skill scales off of HP, I think. We'll go with that. So I want HP, defense, crit rate. Sure. I want speed. Let's try to get him 40,000 HP. That's too many zeros. 150 speed. Crit rate, let's not worry too much about. Let's give him some res. What do we got? Hey Dollar, what's up, man? You think the hair is the same? It is. It is. I fixed obs. Actually, let me just use runes from inventory again. Yeah. I can make him a bit better. And even before rune removal, even like mid-month, if you think you got better runes and you want to if you want to try to, it's a lot of the word try. If you want to see what kind of stats you can get, you can always do this mid-month. Just, if you're only making small tweaks here or there, like you maybe want to just change your runes on one unit, you can do that too. But the point of the rune optimizer is that less brain power, you kind of have more control over what stats you're looking for, so you can find builds that you may not be able to make on your own because you're going to have hundreds of runes. The optimizer confuses me. Hey Christian, you want to question stun as beneficial effect? Why accuracy not help? Stun is if it's included in the unit's skill. There is an accuracy check. The only stun that doesn't go through the accuracy check is despair stuns, I think. Alright. Do I want to click that link dollar? I'll check it later. So yeah. Yeah, I think this video has gone long enough. What do you guys think? Anyways, anyone out on YouTube, if you have any other questions, need me to go into any more detail on things, just leave a comment. I'll reply to it as soon as I can. Cool? Thanks. Later. Must stop recording.